we back? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, internet crashed because there was no power. Am I on? Can you guys see me? Hello? We need to... I'm gonna recharge. We back. Refresh if you're not back. Yeah, I need to refresh. I need to refresh both. There we go. There we go. We're back. Heck yeah. What? The power just went out. The power just blinked out of existence and got back. This is why we use the... We use the thingy. The no break. Goddamn. Thank you, thank you. I'm really glad to be back. What were we talking about? We were talking about Clevitas, right? Yeah, really good anime. Can't wait to see where it goes. Clevitas is on Webtoons? That's why it's good. I see. I see. I'm figuring out a trend. I'm figuring out a trend. A lead anime when... Who knows, Medina? Who knows? Let's see. So after my page replacement, the FEP breaking in on 5 frames and me running on out of resin again, I'm going to have to show some 3D printed anime titties. It's all for a good cause, the cause of 3D printed anime titties, right, Norix? Yeah. Aw, there. Cheer up, buddy. Are we gonna get Flat Justice or Honka Badonka? This season has a lot of Honka Badonkas, I'll tell you that much. Anime this season? Lots of Honka Badonka. So now it is about... Hey, have you ever... Wait. Did I put it on the wrong one. Hey, have you ever seen the actual aerodynamic engineering paper on anime titty aerodynamics? I think I remember seeing this as a meme. Not in actuality. But, you know, after the Pepsi document... Yeah, but there's no way I haven't sent that to you 3 times. You know what? I think you did. I think you did. I'm just not remembering it right now. One other thing that I always remember is that one meme that is like why Flattest Justice girls actually have the biggest chest, it's just that they're hidden. That one is fun too. Alrighty. Thank you, Norex, for sharing culture. This is very important culture to share. Gardenia's Burial of Culture really appreciates it. What channel do I post a scientific paper on animated? Depends. If there are nipples, it's probably then not safe for work. If no nipples are involved, I think you can go on Anything Goes. Because in anything goes, you know? What if they are ninja nipples? They are there but unseen. You know, I think you just described half all the fan service in Love Hina. Which was a show I grew up with. And goddamn, that intro makes your ears bleed. It really does. Man, I remember Love Hina used to be like so huge. In a good way. In a very 90s anime intro way. That one is completely subjective, Medina. You have to hear it. It's one of those that you have to hear it and then you can make your own judgment. I will tell you this, it's definitely one of those songs that's not for everyone. But man, that anime used to be like one of the top tier of like itchy anime. Have you guys ever seen that one? Alright, who here has ever seen Love Hina? 90 anime scare me, so much weird stuff that was kind of okay back then. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. The sad part is that it was mixed with a lot of awesome stuff, so for the most part you had to kind of squint at the questionable stuff and get to the cool part. That was the life of a weeb back then, and when everyone asked about the questionable stuff, you'd be like, you know... You kind of have to live with it. The author had a manga. Comes with the absolute territory. It does, it does. The author of Love Hina had another manga that was called Negi Magi, which was the very convoluted story of a little mage boy who becomes a teacher in an all-girls school, right? And I don't remember what the purpose of the anime was. But those girls who were like 4 years older than him cuddled him so hard. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Medina. I completely forgot the main purpose of the show. No, he wasn't a self-insert. He was very nice and he was actually very nice and kind. He was a very good boy. The girls were pervy toward him, not he was the one who was pervy toward them, mostly. And by pervy, I mean like, I'm gonna tease the kid skin and stuff like that, which... The age gap, I think, was like 4 years, I'm not entirely sure. I think he was like 12 when they were 15. It's definitely that kind of stuff, you know? And the main gimmick was... Whenever he sneezes, he accidentally casts wind magic, so... You get a full frontal flash of every girl in the school in one scene or stuff like that. So, yeah, no, it was... It was not. I think it can enter the pile of problematic media. It absolutely can enter the pile of problematic media. I don't remember what the actual purpose of the show was. If there was like an important test that they had to pass, if he was kind of like a magical girl that was there to help them grant their wishes or something like that. But I remember that one because at the time, everyone was crazy for that author's art style. His name was Ken Akamatsu. Totally unrelated question. What, in your guys' opinion, is the coolest kind of power? Clearly, ice powers. Badum-tsh! Hey! Nah, but really, it varies a lot. Gives me a tired middle-aged office lady who's a magical girl as well. Bureaucracy magical girl. There is one! There is an anime like that. There is an anime about office lady magical girls. It's an adaptation of a manga. It is quite mid. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's called like Magi Office. Yeah, Magi Lumiere is the name of the one. Kiba just knows anything mid off the top of his head is amazing. Welcome to my mid-anime channel, where we only cover the middest of the mid. And yeah, I'll be the first one to tell. That one is pretty mid. I kinda wish it was better because I kinda like the manga a lot. But realistically, that anime, it's literally an anime to try to get otaku excited about work life. It's an anime that tries to teach work ethics in startup companies. You know, your favorite kind of company, Norix, startups. Yep, meow. Hello, cutie kitty. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Yeah, meow powers related to blood are so cool. Regeneration, nice. Make weapons out of blood? Yes. Blood bending? Heck yeah. Blood powers are super cool. Blood powers are super cool. I do like malleable powers a lot, which is one of the reasons why I chose shadow powers, right, for I didn't. Oopsie. Oops. Hold up. You're alive? That's good. It's good to be alive. Also, I don't know if you saw Kitty Kitty. Here's how the bow animation is so far. I only have it from the side. The way I figure, right? If you want to make if you, because I didn't know what kind of system you're going for with the bow, but if you want to make it so it's like a charge and release system, we can stop on this frame. You can stop, I can separate so it stops on this frame, and then you use this one as the fire one, right? And for the casting animation, basically the cast time is these two frames that loop, where it's shaking and chanting. And then when it's done, and then you can make the spell come out of here. We can extend this animation too for how long you need. Now I am doing the forward one. Right? This is so cool and fluid, Kiba. You're amazing. Well done. Ah, thank you, Medina. Thank you. And now I'm starting to work on the back one. We're gonna have some issues here, I'm seeing. I was supposed to get a package today. It didn't arrive. Oh, no! Ah... The pain. You can't spell paint without pain. Right? There we go. I'm not sure how I'm going to code it, but we'll figure it out later. So maybe separate the bow animation. I will. I absolutely will. Don't worry. These I put this here so I can make sure I know how the sprites will connect, right? And then I will separate everything in order in the VFX files. I'll make their own separate little sprite sheets essentially. Okay. Oh, lunchtime. Thank you, Mamachi. We got tuna spread today. Oh, I also already made the NPC Clotas for the attack animation.
Tuna is spreading the legs.
Thank you, Mamachi. Will you give it a sprite file or a PNG? Both work for you, right? But I can give to you whatever you think is better. Because I don't know which one works best for you. So yeah, so the NPC Clotas are already here. There's a it's better that we don't have to set animations manually. I see, I see, I see. So the files like this are okay for you? Alright. Hmm. So in that case, hold up. Is it alright if I make the files a little bit bigger than the 32 by 32? Because I don't know how to... That was the plan, you know, swords and spells. Oops. Well, did I just hit myself? Anyways. There we go. Oh yeah, that's right. If I press 9, this happens. Ow. Ow. What is hitting me? It's invisible. Ow. So anyways, let me proceed. The size doesn't matter, but I do need to know. All right, all right. Good to know that size doesn't matter to you. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Please. It is the motion of the ocean or how long one can stay in the port that matters. I see, I see, I see. Why are we talking about nautics? Well, anyways. Tuna spread is delish. I think I am gonna eat it all first before continuing. Trying to do two things at the same time. I keep trying to do that. Never really works out that well. Is the unknown bad? If you guys want, I can turn off the mic while I'm chewing. This is a weirdly divisive thing. Some people hate chewing, and other people just love it. I hate when people chew with their mouth open, so otherwise I'm fine. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah, chewing with your mouth open is really... It's really something you're supposed to grow out of, mostly. Hmm. Agreed, Medina. Agreed. Especially if they're sitting next to you. Hmm. Guys, I saw a really, really funny video talking about a paper of people who were researching if prawn actually has any negative effects for the human being. And what that study found was that prawn can have good effects or bad effects based on how you relate to your sexuality. So it's not the prawn, it's literally your view of it that affects it. If you're like hardcore religious and you think all this thing is sin, and then you watch it, it's gonna have a negative effect on you because you're gonna create a complex. You know what? I feel relieved because I always figured it was that. For me, it may happen because I want to, but mostly to, let me see, to breathe with isn't widely chewing. My nose gets more stuffed than a person who did 10,000. This person was mental, kitty. That has to be a huge trauma. Mm. Do you use nebulizers, kitty? Because, like, when it comes down to stuff in nose and stuff like that, I started using a nebulizer because my singing teacher recommended that me and Momochi should use nebulizers before starting recording, streaming and recording. And it definitely improved a lot of my allergies ever since I started using. Nebulizer, you know, like it's like this little. It can be little. It can be little. It can be big. It's this machine where you put you put a special type of water. I don't remember what the name was. Vip Evaporub's lace, but it's so expensive. At least here in Brazil, it's like super expensive. It's really pricey. Yeah. So my allergy is the type where it's just like the weather affects me a little bit. Yeah, you have to use distilled. It's not distilled water. It's here in Brazil we call it physiologic solution. It's a type of water that is used specifically for like cleaning the eyes. It's like a purer type of water, I guess. Oops. And like, honestly, it helps a lot with stuff and nose. It helps a lot with stuff and nose. It helps with the voice. It helps with the throat a lot. Like, my throat used to get sore very fast because of the string. And yeah, it had a lot of benefits for my life, so I don't know. If you have a lot of troubles with stuff and nose and stuff like that, it's definitely helpful. You can get like some portable ones or some nebulizers or that are powered by USB. Yeah, honestly though, I don't even use it as much as I should. Because according to our teacher, you are supposed to use it like, I don't know, it was 3 times a day if you do voice work. Because it really helps with preventing the voice from tearing up too much. Aww. Don't worry, Norex. The packages will come soon. The package gods will help you. There we go. There we go. Yeah. And one other interesting thing that the paper about prawn told was that there were papers about prawn that came before it that talked about prawn addiction and stuff like that. However, this paper also found out that those other papers had shockingly some bias issues. Shockingly to no one. Because apparently they were done with a lot of leading questions. Which doesn't surprise me, because most of them were done in the US, and ever since I saw this video about... I saw a video by Mooney. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a YouTuber that uses Phoenix Wright as his avatar a lot because he is a lawyer. And he had this video that was discussing why religious games suck. Why do Christian games usually suck? And he had a whole talk about like... had a whole rant about what was it called again? I think it was called Puritan Ethic, and how it permeated a lot of culture in America, which also, and and like one thing explains the other. It's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. That is a good question. Probably because they don't want primarily make good games, but make something to preach their beliefs. So here's the thing, Medina. Ideally, in order to preach their beliefs better, right? It makes sense to make something that draws the attention. So making something good, right, would be beneficial. it would be really beneficial if they made a good one. But the main reason they can't make was how, because of the way that these entities, is entity a name? I think entity is a name. You know, organizations. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with entity. Just I'm not talking about aliens. I am not talking about aliens, okay? Also, I think this is something that should have been researched sooner. It could actually be useful to prevent stuff. Yeah. The problem with research is that in order for research to happen, there needs to be a reason to do the research. So research is unfortunately reactive by nature, right? It is the sad reality, but it's like, okay, we made a new type of pencil. So no one is like going to immediately research the side effects of the new type of pencil right away. They're gonna notice that something's wrong and then they're gonna research it. It is unfortunate, but it is the nature of the beast. I think that the main issue we have nowadays is that things just get invented and move too fast. Right? I do also think we're kind of reaching a limit on that, though. At least with big tech, you can kind of see that they're kind of running out of revolutionary stuff to release. So, which is why they are trying to push whatever the hell they can come up with as rapidly as possible, like it is the newest, greatest thing ever. Because no one could figure out how to make flying cars viable. Unfortunate. Disruption. They should make a quiz. Who makes the sound? Casanova or Jesus when to get Badunch. In fact, the US had a research group develop an ink pen that would work in all conditions like space. The Soviets used lead pencils. Ah, yeah. I remember that one. Apparently, the problem with the lead pencils was if the point broke, it would float indefinitely. And it would like harm machines. No, I'm pretty sure the Soviets really did use pencils for the most part, and then some of the machinery got into trouble. The pen was, incredibly enough, the pen was actually useful. I saw a video about that the other day, and I was like, ah, okay. Yeah, lead would have been pretty bad, though. Lead would have been pretty bad. I do get the sentiment of that phrase that Kitty Kitty is saying, that sometimes people come up with like really fancy solutions when there might be simpler solutions available. Unfortunately, that one happens to be the one bad example of that. The Soviets also launched a man to space before building their first toilet paper factory, so I'm not sure if their exploration example instead of a broken clock being right twice a day here and there. In Soviet Union, toilet paper launches you. I think there was like a guy who his whole stitch was saying in Soviet Union, insert thing opposite. It's so weird how that happens sometimes. Here in Brazil, we have a city that's called Itu. And it has a weird reputation that everything in Itu is larger. There is absolutely no factual reason for that to be a thing. You know? Yes, Medina, everything is larger. The only reason that is a thing is because some dude used it as part of their comedian routine, and basically the city got such a reputation for it that they have like a giant ice cream statue at the city entrance, and they kind of leaned into it. It became kind of a tourist. It kind of like has a bunch of tourist traps, which is like the biggest pizza you ever eat and stuff like that. Yeah, Medina, pretty much. Everything. Norex, I don't know if you've been paying attention so far, but most Brazilian humor is very suggestive. So yes, everything wink wink. Or especially the older ones. The older the Brazilian humor is, the more suggestive it is. Our culture can be kinda horny sometimes. Okay, stand corrected, I found the stuff on the wiki. Basically, they did do a project on the pens, but the Soviets skyrocketed and NASA went back to pencils. Like the Soviets, the space pen eventually developed by Paul Fisher for about 1 million. Oh! Interesting. Okay, so for this one, I'm actually gonna do a better job. I'm gonna do like a bigger edit on this. Oh, this is gonna be fun to make for the... make later. Because if I don't do this... I'm not gonna be able to make the character shooting the bow straight, essentially. How do we do this? You know what? I'm gonna have to allow myself to just break the sprite a little bit. For aviation stories, the Soviet Union is a goldmine though. Guys, we once went to the moon, now we have shitty AI in social media. Social media. Social media, social media, social media. It currently gives me a job, which is a pain, right? Social media has given a lot of artists a chance to have some sort of job that they didn't have before, even if they keep shittifying and making it harder to do it. Oh no, shitty bikinis. You know, I just thought of something. I just thought of something really curious. So this is gonna be a wild tangent. This is gonna be the wildest tangent ever. But I am gonna say it right. I'm gonna go on a tangent, but I swear it comes back around to the social media thing. Okay, so I've seen a phenomena that has happened twice with card games, where a card game that did not have a digital version got a digital version, right? And the consequence, and when the digital version came out, there were immediate consequences to how the card game was perceived and played by the public at large. These consequences are always like, number one, the meta of the card game got solved way quicker, and the flaws of the format of the card game got exposed and became more of an issue way quicker than they would have, if at all. Now, both card games that I'm talking about are Magic the Gathering, when Magic Arena was released. Although Magic the Gathering already had digital formats, they were very restricted for people at large. And the other one was Cardfight Vanguard, when they released the lesser shitty Switch game during a certain format a few years back. Now let's catch up to chat a little bit before I wrap it all around. I have seen shitty ads for clothing. One time a plane's navigator had a minor oopsie and slapstick sequence ensued where the plane without noticing a thing got into high-speed chase, had missiles fired at it, and someone sneezed and deployed missiles countermeasure, ended up the wrong country. Oh god. Where the country's interceptors went to intercept it, but got to turn on their friend to follow ID system and started chasing each other for half an hour, noticing the error. Oh no! Sounds legit. A guy managed to land a plan on a red square as well. So silly. I personally use it to summarize my mails and tasks, and if needed, set priorities if possible. No, kitty. Iba knows so much about the mid-old anime and card game. You're a dick. Oh yeah, otherwise keep forgetting stuff. Airplane story. Over 2,000 people were demoted and fired as consequence. I can imagine that. I can imagine that. So, why am I talking about these things? You know what social media did to us? Social media did to us, did to marketing what Magic Arena did to Magic the Gathering. It exponentially increased the data that one could gather when developing strategies for it and exponentially increased the immediate return. So the problem with social media is that it advanced marketing significantly, and all these engagement baits and stuff like that got it developed way too fast. Way too fast for anyone to follow or even figure out what the good things and bad things were. I hate Magic Arena, it's so damn good, but so damn scammy in the background. That's fair. That is fair. And also, there's a lot of weird stuff. Unfortunately, I think nearly every online game is a little bit like that. Okay, so I am gonna have to make the bow be held differently when it's shooting down. Unless I like make the character be completely from the side. Which I theoretically can. Let me see. I'll be real, Medina. Unfortunately, all card games are scammy. Which is why everyone and their mother is trying to make a card game of their own. Because it's like, it always has been a very touchy subject for card gamers, whether or not the booster packs were loot boxes. Because there has been a lot of comparison and there has been a lot of arguments against it. They kinda are. This is not promoting anything and it's also probably not legal advice, but there is a program called Cockatrice. Ah, yes. I mean, you can use Tabletop Simulator too, and that one is completely legal as far as I'm concerned. It is a loot box. Unfortunately, it is a loot box. It was one of the first loot box for children. Which there are so many nowadays. There are so many loot boxes for children nowadays, like, yeesh. Every time I walk into a toy store for like buying Pokemon packs for Momochi or something, I find new ones. Hehehe, cock. I just keep finding new ones. That's why I'm going to get a box from the Final Fantasy Live 9 up, and that's the only thing I'll buy from them. The Final Fantasy one is catching people literally by the balls. I'll be real, if I had if I didn't have other budget priorities, I would get it too. Even though theoretically this Universe Beyond thing is like one of the things that I hate the most on principle in card games. Easy, build mono red aggro, turn off brain.x, remember, that face is the place and enjoy grinding. Did you know, Medina, did you know that they banned 7 cards in Magic recently, and they were all for the mono red deck? Also, I'm with Kitty Kitty. I'm a mono black guy myself. If I can be mono blue, I will, but mono blue is very hard. They did some bans because the tournament was only aggro in the top. Yeah, I heard. I like your funny magic words. They literally are funny magic words. But Norax, if you have any curiosity of what, at least what the hell they mean, they are how people talk about color combinations, and they are based off the sets that were most popular in Magic the Gathering, where these colors were given an extra flavor. So all two color combination words refer to Guilds of Ravnica, which was a faction-based expansion that made all two that turned all two color combinations into clans that lived in this magical city. So Dimir in particular refers to black and blue, which was the faction of secrets. They served this mysterious memory vampire that craved information in order to sustain itself. Instead of feeding on blood, it fed on information. So they had spies everywhere to learn just about anything, and they would engage a lot in information broking and thievery. They were really cool. Abzan is from Clans of Tarkir. Abzan, white, black, green have tons of value and grinding them out. I could put the bow... Yeah, because the bow is already at the center though. Dinner time, BRB. Alright, Norax. So, Kitty Kitty, what do you think? Is it alright if it's over here? Oh, that sounds like your mid-range crypto, bro. And the Clans of Tarkir were 3 color combinations. Yes. I don't know anything about Clans of Tarkir though, because I stopped playing before. And I never really caught up with the lore in that regard. I also did not like 3 color combination decks on principle. The principle being that I hated how expensive lands are in Magic the Gathering. I mean, technically I still do. I just don't play the game anymore, so that's a little bit irrelevant now. But when I played the game, I hated how expensive lands were. Because they felt... It wasn't just the price, it was also the fact that lands aren't exciting. You know? Like, when you open up a really powerful card... This is a thing I really... By the way, I hate about a lot of modern card games. That the modern card games, all of them have at least one thing that's like, you need this in order to play. And usually the thing that's a requirement to play isn't really that fun or exciting, like a powerful boss monster. But it is necessary. In Magic the Gathering, it's the dual lands, right? It's like, even if you're trying to make something fun, janky, and unconventional, you still need dual lands usually. In Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's the hand traps. You absolutely need the hand traps and staples, otherwise it's not a playable deck, you know, that kind of stuff. In Vanguard, it was weird. In Vanguard, one of the things that... Vanguard didn't have that problem much, but it had that problem at the early stages of the game. Because you had the perfect guards. Now, they weren't the rarest thing. However, some smartass decided that even though the rarity was low, you would have like a limited amount of dens per booster box. You would have like guaranteed only to have one per booster box, right? And you needed 4 for your specific clan in order to play the game. So it was still a pain in the neck to get. There were some perfect guards that were never reprinted. They were extremely hard to get. And if you didn't have the perfect guard, you couldn't guard perfectly. And when you can't guard perfectly, the booster box are also stinky, great for limited format, but otherwise, yeah. Yeah, the main issue of card games, and this is the part that sucks, right? This is the part that sucks. There are card games that have alternative methods to booster box. And no, they don't sell well. I don't know if it's because the shitty distribution system has been so ingrained into our brains, or because it taps into like some primal aspect of human beings. I don't know what it is, but we respond to the booster sets best to whatever alternative you got. Like, for instance, there's a card game, I think it's Legend of the Five Rings, that instead of buying booster box, you buy expansions. They are sold just like you would sell... Exactly like you would sell board games, right? They come in boxes. They come in boxes. Board game boxes. And you can have all the cards buying the booster boxes. They're kind of expensive, but you get everything. And they're gonna be infinitely cheaper than if you were playing a card game. But it's kind of like free-to-play, where free-to-play gives you the illusion that you don't have to pay all this to play the game, right? The booster boxes are also staked with great for limited device, but the good thing is they have some cool one-off cards. True. So these don't become too popular. I don't know if there's like some other logistic stuff related, because it's like, it's very hard to evaluate the success of a card game based entirely on a single thing, because card games are very volatile. It's like, yeah, maybe it's the distribution, but maybe also the meta for that game was was actually bad, right? It's hard to know for sure what is causing a card game to not be successful. Everything's gonna be extremely anecdotal, right? So like, did this card game fail because of the distribution system, or is this card game successful because of the distribution system, or in spite of it? I do know that the main reason Magic persevered was in spite of the distribution system instead of because of the distribution system, because the difficulties just made the community as a whole feel like they were doing something to preserve the card game from going, which is why how secondary markets began. And then the scalpers came, and everything changed. Card games are hard since lots of players are entrenched in their favorite game. It is like, card games are kind of the way I saw someone put it that I agreed with is that card games are lifestyle games, you know? So you kind of pick just one. You have to pick one to play. It's kind of like MMOs, right? It's very hard to play 2 MMOs at once. They demand a lot of your attention. Believe me, I tried. I love card games. I have tried to play multiple at the same time. What would usually happen when doing that was, one, my amount of money would be very limited. The money I had would be very limited. And 2, I think I need to add some extra perspective to the bowl. Like this. This. And I would also not be able to play any of the games very effectively. Ah, thank you, Medina. So I do think I can do a little bit better on this one. Let me see. Here. Currently my money is tight because Momochi enrolled us in art class, and honestly, worth it. We're actually doing perspective right now. We're actually learning perspective right now. Lots of useful stuff that I can actually implement in here in my pixel art. It's really good. It's a course on fundamentals. Because like the thing with being self-taught, right? And this is 100% true. The thing with being self-taught is that sometimes you pick up stuff that you're not exactly sure what you pick it up or why you're doing it. So doing like a basic course is so good. Because it allows you to learn the things that you might have missed. Or something that you learned wrong. That also happens a lot with being self-taught. You kind of learn something and it kind of works for your level at the time you learned it, right? But then push comes to shove, and when you start doing more complex art, it's like, wait, this isn't working at all. That actually reminds me. There is one thing that there is one piece that I really need to remake. Let me get it. Oops. Do I have it with me right now? It's one I was pretty proud of when I made it. But also it didn't turn out the way I wanted, basically. So this one is a piece that I really liked when I made it, right? It's like, it has like a different perspective, the Mama Kiba is leaning in, it's very itchy and all that. But there is one big flaw with it. And the big flaw with it was that I was actually trying to do a perspective art. And I did some things alright. This arm here has really good perspective, right? But I wasn't trying to make Mama Kiba leaning forward. It was actually her looking up. But I couldn't do it, so it ended up looking like she was leaning forward, and I was like, okay, she's leaning forward now. We adapt, we do new stuff, but I really want to do that pose correctly. I really want to do that pose the way it was supposed to be done. The way I actually envisioned it. And now I think I have the means to do that. Alright, Medina, thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Go. Bye-bye. So... Okay, I think this is alright. Here we go. Boing. There we go. Ah, Frontier. Maybe one day I'll have enough confidence in challenging you again, but you're such a huge game. There we go. That's what he said. Hey. Man, I don't remember which Saga game was it, but there was a Saga game that the plot twist actually bummed me out. I am wholesome sometimes. Fair, fair, fair. Boing. What do you think of the animation, Kitty? Good, good, good. I will use this as basis for making the female version as well. Oh yeah, the female version I also did the bow. Still haven't worked on the casting and stuff like that. I think I wanna finish the male one before I get started. Or maybe I should just do the female one too. Anyways, I need to go back. It's be right B. I need to go pee. Just 1 second, I swear. Be right back. Peeing is important. Okay. And we're back. And we're back. I feel like this is a big project. It is a big project. But one, you're compensating me, and two, this is what making game graphics entail too. And honestly, if I could work with that, I'd love to. So for me, this is fine. Aim forward. Fire forward. As long as you're paying me, it's completely fine. And look at the number that I've paid so far, and why it's worth every cent of it, as it still was a bit baffling. Did you think it was too much? I charged you pretty much $1 per frame. Because of all the quotas. And yeah, it's absolutely not cheap to make. That's why I don't know if there was like a better way to distribute the costs, you know? But that's why a lot of games that are related to pixel art, they won't actually do like different clothing and stuff like that. Because it does add up. It does add up. I still need to research the best way to charge for tile sets, especially if it's like bigger tile sets. I saw a guy who like he like had a thing where he charged 80 bucks for tile set, but I couldn't figure out how big his tile sets were. Bye bye, Lunatic, have a good one. Thank you for the pet. Because that's kind of a thing that you have to be careful of how much you're charging so you're not overcharging or undercharging. Best way to do that is to pay attention to what other people are charging. Yeah, and the forward. Okay. But yeah, I know you've been spending a lot of money so far, which is also why I volunteered to redo the graphics compared to where I started. Because I know you've been spending a lot of money. And to make sure I'm not worrying anyone, I can make sure to eat my bills. That's good. That's good. Would be very sad if that wasn't the case. The last thing I want is someone hiring me to do a job when they don't have the money to pay stuff for themselves or stuff like that. I really don't want that on my conscience. I know there are a lot of people who would go, well, it's their choice and their problem, not mine, but wouldn't sit very well. Still wouldn't sit very well. Okay, this one looks weird. So I think what I want is this one a bit leaned more. This. Yeah. Meanwhile, I can make this one like this. And there we go. There we are. There we go. There we go. Man, there is an isekai anime this season, by the way. I haven't talked about it yet. It seems like it has an interesting premise. It seems like it has an interesting premise. But it also did that thing where it set up a really interesting premise and immediately solved it at the same time. Oi, be careful, kitty kitty, be careful. But anyways, the anime is Buzogachi, I think it's the name. And it's basically the anime of a dude who isn't conventionally attractive. He was kind of old. He had like a mole on his shin that had like this little piece of hair flicking out of it. Dude wasn't exactly hot, right? But he lived an honest life. He was a salesman for a company. And he lived relatively happy. He considered himself ugly, but he also wore his ugliness as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I'm not ugly, I'm not conventionally attractive, but with my job and the way I relate to people, I'm proud of the way I relate to people. Ah, I see. That is fair. But everything changed that one day while he was at the train. And a schoolgirl accused him of groping her unfairly because he was holding his shopping. He was still holding what he had shopped for. Unfortunately, he was shopping for a bunch of eroge. So at that point, he could feel everyone was judging him harshly. So he kind of gave up on trying to defend himself. Because he was like, oh god, I fit the stereotype way too much, no one is gonna believe me. So he went a bit defeatist there. And instead of trying to stand up for himself in his injustice, he kinda just let people think what they wanted out of him and admitted guilt for a crime he didn't commit, which immediately caused him to be fired from his job, and he became a Redditor. He became isolated from society, and then he heard a rumor about being isekai'd through doing like a special ritual on his computer. And then he discovered then he had a status screen where he could distribute points, and he discovered that if he added debuffs for himself, he would gain bonus points to distribute on his base stats. So he decided to set his own appearance to the lowest factor possible and to give himself a bunch of weird restrictions, like if you touch someone from the opposite gender, you will explode. No, you lose 10% of your health. If you try to do the naughties, you will actually just die and stuff like that, right? He just started adding a bunch of horrible restrictions for himself, so he could get all the sweet extra stats. But he forgot to distribute his points. So he gets his Sakai'd without OP stats, and he is ugly as sin. And he is immediately greeted by a group of other people that were isekai'd with him, and they all had their age reset to 16. And he's basically an ugly bastard, so it's ugly bastard isekai. It's ugly bastard isekai. Now, immediately the thing that stood out to me was that he made a terrible mistake in that he gave himself a bunch of disadvantages without really getting anything in return for it. And I was like, oh my god. So that is one heck of an underdog tale. I'm in. I am sold. Immediately, within 5 seconds, he levels up by killing a goblin, and he is able to distribute his stat points. And I'm like, god damn it, Isekai. God damn it. The main hook, the main thing that was making me excited about the story, and you solved it in 5 minutes? Come on, man. Come on. I wanted to see my man struggle in Iron Mode Isekai. It would have been so good. It would have been so good. Iron Man Isekai? I wanted that so badly, and I didn't get it. What a waste. What a freaking waste. So the main issue he faces is that he is technically ugly. He can't touch women, and he has cute party members. One of them is actually starts to develop feelings towards him because he started doing nice things and he has a very high inferiority complex and a small tendency towards antisocial skills. One thing that I thought was like really great of the anime was that there is a guy on the team. It's not just a team of girls, and dude is a real bro. Like, he is genuinely trying to be helpful and give life advice to the guy, and is trying to, and you can tell, and he has just good intentions. He just has good intentions, which is so refreshing from the whole every other guy is terrible and I can only count on girls for emotional support and stuff like that usually happens in this anime, right? No, dude is a bro. Dude is a bro, and honestly, thank God. Thank God. So, it's not gonna be revolutionary like I wanted it to be, but it is gonna be something different. And honestly, for a genre like Isekai, something different is all I can ask for, really. It's really hard to get something different. Usually you just get more of the same. So I am still gonna watch that one. It has some funny moments and animations. Like the one of the girls gives him a burger for as thank you for the help he gave her early, and he accidentally touches her hand, and he feels, and the pain he feels is proportional to the HP he loses, and at this point he has like a really OP HP pool. So he feels the pain of losing like 1 trillion HP or something like that, and apparently it's world-shattering. It's like world-shattering pain. And because it's percentage damage, no matter how OP, the more OP he gets, the worse that pain will be. So I thought that was like, okay, these disadvantages matter. Alright. Good. Stay that way. And I don't say this because I want to see the protagonist suffer, but you know, shitty choices happen, but doesn't mean your life is over, and being able to overcome them is kind of an inspirational story if you think about it. So it's always nice to see choices mattering in a story. Play. Hey Norex. Inspirational story? I got one. Okay. They wrote. Oh no, I remember that one. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fine, how about the pilot who got a medal for accidentally ejecting before even taking off the plane? Okay, you're gonna have to explain that one, please. What kind of medal was it? Premature ejector? How does one get a medal for premature ejection exactly? I have questions. I have concerns. God, do you think that's a Guinness? And who would want to have that title? World's fastest premature ejaculator. I feel like that's not a title you seek, that's a title that's granted to you and it haunts you forever. It's just there now and there's nothing you can do about it. So, once upon a time, the SSR developed a plane, the Sukhoi Su-24 Fencer, a ground attack plane, very large, carries large amounts of munitions under its fuselage. Very variable sweep wings meant that it can go fast without sacrificing its low speed. Cool fuck all. Cool stuff. Okay. Nice. So how did it go wrong? What went wrong there? Thing is, they use hydraulics for the elevator controls, something they never done before in a Sukhoi design. I see. Oh, I know, Kitty Kitty. That's why I try to look at other artist accounts that are active, you know? ASLOP is going to be suspiciously cheap. I am careful with who I follow for the most part. Meaning, when you started the plane, the hydraulics also spooled up and the elevator would drop. The elevator being linked the control stick in the cockpit and then towards the pilot between the legs. Right which should little pull upwards and measures the eject. Ah, and the hydraulics pull up the elevator with the rise and neutral position. The stick will move forward, pulling on the eject handle. I see. I have seen $5 for full tile sets with in and out tiles and everything. Oh god. But yeah, no, that is a bit sus regardless. But like in that case, it's like pre-made tile sets, right? Yeah, those would be cheaper on average because you make them once and it's like assets, right? I remember I had bought some like this before, but that was before the AI boom. They were relatively cheap in the Steam store. So yeah, these test pilots thinking up all the plane's first flight test, start the plane and suddenly ejector seats fire. Oh no. If hydraulics pull up, the elevator will rise in neutral position. The stick will move forward, pulling the eject handle. Wait, so technically you press the go button and it just fires you into space? Oh god. Oh god, that's amazing. So I pressed the flight button and it technically did what it was supposed to. I flew. The problem is the plane stayed on the ground. Oh god, poor dude. Poor dude. There we go, we got the firing up animation. Now they do get a legendary dressing down from their COCOCOs, but immediately after, the guy running the Secret Design Bureau comes in. See, he also designed the ejector seat. He had unwittingly and unintentionally tested the ejector seat design and proven that it was the first of a kind to work at ground level, a standstill. He gave each of them a medal and customized helmet. I guess an ejector seat is very useful if you're having a rough landing. So good on them, I guess. Pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff. It works somehow, they're not even sure why. Hey, if it ain't broke. If it ain't broke. Oh my god. To this day, the solution is just to tie an electric string with shoe sloppers to the elevators to prevent them dropping. Electric powers down. These affectionately nicknames the plane is balls by the crew. I see, makes sense. There we go. We got the bow animation for up. I'm gonna add a little bit more shading here because it's kind of bothering me. There we go. We should add some here. There we go. Anywho. Original story. Yes, live your dreams and get ejected before the plane starts to move. So much went wrong, yet somehow still managed to go right. I mean, some of the world's greatest innovations, am I right? They go exactly like that. So, anyways, everyone. Unfortunately, we're approaching time to end the stream because I still have singing lessons. One of these days I'm gonna do a karaoke stream. I don't know when. I really don't. Really don't, but I will. Oh no. Be careful, cutie kitty. I hope it works out and the fine isn't too big. So everyone, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you all have a wonderful day or night. And now we find someone to raid. Let me see. Who is on today? Do I raid other artists or do I go for someone I already know? Who is on my list? Oh! You know, I think I can go for an artist I already know, so... Everyone, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys later, okay? And remember, when in doubt, when you think you can't do it, just think like a ninja. And sure you can! So bye-bye everyone, thank you very much for joining me. Have a wonderful day or night, stay awesome, and bye-bye!